Welcome back. I'm currently in Ripple's Learning Center in Bangalore with the students who are pursuing a course in HR management to give us a little more in-depth information about the course. I'm also joined by faculty members Monica Jingan and Animesh Rai. So if you could tell us firstly what HR management entails.
Right. Human resource over a period of time has evolved as one of the most diversified support function. Right from a time when a person gets into an organization to the time person moves out, which means, let's say, an entry-level interview to an exit-level interview. The whole idea of recruitment, the idea of learning and development, performance management, employee relations, employee engagement, people development, all that is something that comes under HR, and that makes the domain very, very diversified and also something to be part of.
Ma'am, if you could tell us about how the course is structured here at your learning center and how it sort of better equips students with the required skills that the industry needs.
Sure. The courses that we have covers all the domains of HR and including HR analytics, which is a very recent domain, because HR is supposed to has been sitting on a lot of data in the past few years, and so it becomes very important part of human resource domain. The courses that we have are mainly to build competencies and to make students industry ready.
So let me throw it out to the students now. If one of you could tell us why exactly you decided to get into HR, what were the events that led you to deciding to pursue a career in this field?
When I was doing my bachelor's, I had the subject HR, and somehow I created a liking for it, and I wanted to learn more about it, and that's why I joined Ripples, and I'm here to explore more about HR. And I like interacting with people, so I want to make my career also in employee relations.
If one of you could tell me what are the different specializations that are involved in the field of HR?
There are a lot of specializations like training and development. There is recruitment and selection. There's employee relations, payroll. Initially, when we started off with HR was just managing about people or taking an interview. So it's gone a long way. So it's become a tree with a lot of branches where you have a lot of specialization. And here, when you talk about when you come here, initially when I came here, I didn't know what do I do in HR. I just wanted me to be in HR. So when I came here, the CHRMP course, it led me to a lot of specialization, so which I could take in, where I knew where my strengths is and where my weakness is. So that's it.
Let's say one of you do get into the HR department in any particular organization. What are some of the areas of work that you would be doing? Because as she mentioned, there's recruitment and hiring, and there's training and development, things like that. What are some of the, as an HR manager or an employee in the HR department, what are some of the different jobs that you would be looking at?
So I would get into talent management because apart from their daily work, it would really help them to come out of their stress that they have. And I personally like to conduct more activities, so that would really help them to be free from their stressful work. So I would get into talent management.
Coming back to the faculty now, a lot of people often say that the HR department in any organization is often the heart of the organization, is sort of facilitating bridge between the employers and the employees. How important would you say the role of a HR team is in any organization across public and private sectors with this regard, sort of as facilitating communication between employees and employees, management and staff, and ensuring that the company sort of runs smoothly with its day-to-day activities?
I would say HR has come a long way. We cannot really think of HR today only as a communication channel between employer and employee, because what is being done today by HR is something of strategic importance, because the kind of for example, let's talk about competency-based HRM. When we talk about competency-based HRM, we see that the whole productivity, the way performance is being managed or the productivity is derived in organization is changing. So when we talk about learning and development and upskilling, we are seeing the gap between desired and done performance being improved drastically. When we talk about the way organizations are structured today, and when we talk about this whole new age, millennials coming in and Gen Y and Gen X probably taking a back seat, I think HR today is doing much more than just communicating.
If we could go back to sort of the kind of degrees that you'd have to pursue or courses you'd have to pursue in your undergraduation or post-graduation to get into a course in HR, is there anything in particular, or is anyone from any field can get in?
I'm basically an engineer, and I've had experience in aerospace engineering and also finance domain. I was a German resource. So having worked in these two domains, I can safely say that doing work in HR doesn't require you to have any particular degree as such, but you need, like he said, you need a very practical experience. You need to know the most recent trends that happen, because every organization wants to be ahead, right? You all want to perform well. So I think courses like these, where you can update yourself, like CHRMP, and you need these kind of short courses, quick courses.
I have a degree in finance, and I worked as a financial analyst for about 7 years. Such courses, it's like HR is a very red person in an organization, very confident person. A course like this, it's not only knowledge that comes across, it's also your personality that would come across, your confidence that would come across. So such courses should be more. I would, a course like CHRMP, which would build in a lot of confidence, which brings out your personality, should be a must.
I've done MBA in HR, but I still want to hone my skills. I just want to sharpen my skills. That's why I chose this. I used to work as an HR administrator, work abroad. Now came back, and I'm planning to go back again. So before I go back, I just want to sharpen my skills. I want to be ready to hit the job market back abroad.
Now, there's a lot of talk about skill development that's been happening around the country, and like also she mentioned. So what are some of the skills that an HR personnel would require?
I like to say something that Richard Branson said. So he said, take care of your employees and they'll take care of your customers for you. So people in general are like very complex, So that itself is the first challenge as I see it. And also working around the system, you always need to be flexible. For the company also, you need to benefit. So working around the challenges of people and the company, balancing both, and as well maintaining that performance level and all of that, blending it all in is what I feel is a challenge, but need not be an obstacle. It's a good challenge.
I feel attrition is a big challenge in HR right now, as people are not satisfied with everything. So being an employer, you need to keep them engaged and look after their needs and try to keep them satisfied, so that do not leave your organization. So attrition is a big challenge.
I would advise anybody who's looking at a career in HR to it's not very difficult to get into human resource, but to be a great human resource professional, you need to be constantly updated. You need to, it's not like 10, 15 years back that, HR was somebody whom you can ignore in an organization. HR today is in line with business, so you constantly need to enhance your skill, your competencies to be able to deliver what's required to the industry. So HR is challenging, but at the same time, I would suggest that you have, if you have it in you, I'm very sure that you would be able to do justice to the role that you are in. So that is what would be my advice to young HR professionals. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And thanks to all of you for joining us. Well, if you are planning on pursuing a career in HR, these tips would have definitely come in handy. That's a wrap on today's show. Thank you so much for watching.